Hello there, my darlings. I thought I would share a little something with you, something that I do very often and I've not shared with you often enough. So welcome to the House of Zelda, and we continue to... Hello there, everyone. I'm Lady Zelda Kelly. Today is Tuesday, October 21st of 2025. It's a new moon today, and it's bringing things that have been in the shadows out in the open, out in the light. Now today I want to do a little demonstration on one Michael David Proctor. Now what is this demonstration? You've heard me talk about it probably several times. It is the Zeldan Codex system. It is a numerology system that is based on astrology, based on life, transformation, departure. It's based on many, many different things. And it's my own little numerology that I've been working on for many, many years. Now, this is very interesting, and I want to show you what I come up with Michael Proctor. So we're going to move the House of Zelda cards, and we've got a little gift from somebody. I don't know which one, but we're going to... This is on Michael David Proctor. Now, I want to make sure that you can see this. I may move you in just a little bit, but you may have to, do this with your fingers. All right. This is a highlighter. So this is called a blueprint of a birth number. Now, I do not know the day that Michael Proctor was born, and that's okay. I don't want anyone to go on the hunt and give it to me, because this is a demonstration for you to show you that you do not need all of that information to come out what a soul pattern is all about, because it sort of kind of ends up in the same way. So this is based on the date of birth, which is December 1981. This is your common numerology, but then we'll get into the Zeldan Codex pyramid. All right, that's what we'll do. I think you're going to be very interested in this, and then I'm going to pull a few cards to see where we are right now with what is going on with Michael Proctor and this phone situation. If you want to take a few little notes, you're more than welcome to as well, because this particular system works on everything, every place, everyone. It has geographical ties. It is based on life in general, because we are all numbers, frequencies, and you know frequency is a value of numbers. And for the sake of not getting a little too deep, let's move on. So the components are this. It's based on math, reduced, and meaning. So December is the number 12. That's the 12th month of the year. It's 1 plus 2 equals 3. So we've got our first number here. So 1981, when you add all of these together, comes up to 19. Now, we do not take double digits unless they are the same double digits, which means it mirrors the energy. Okay, it's a master builder number. So as we go on, now what we do is we actually do the 1 plus 9 is 10. Of course, we don't do the 10. And then 10 reduces into 1 plus 0 is 1. So now we're going to combine these. We're going to combine the 3. We're going to combine the 1. And we have a number 4. That's easy enough. That is his life path number so far. Now, here's very interesting things. We derive this as the month turns into a number 3. What does that talk about? That is all about a messenger. Now, I want you to take these things, maybe write them down, because this is really going to resonate. And the thing of it is, you can't help it. The numbers don't lie. So he turns out to be a messenger, whether good, bad, or whatever. Now, what is the messenger? Well, it's an archetype of a tuaka. It is a connector and an image maker. Isn't that wild? So now we have a life path core number. The full date is the number 4. The vibration is an architect. He's a builder. He's a controller. And he's an enforcer. Yikes. So the shadow lesson here, okay, that's what we're going into. The shadow lesson is when you take the 4, which is the year, and you minus this, which is the year. You take the total, okay, the total between the month and the year, and then you deduct the 1. It leaves us with a 3. What is a 3? It is the echo. What does this mean? It means learning to communicate responsibly. Seriously, I had to take a breath when I did this yesterday, and I'm like, holy mackerel, I've got to do this again, because I always check my work. I always check, I always do it again. I always want to make sure that things are the way they are supposed to be. So here's the thing. Now we are going to assign Zeldan totems and elements to this, okay? Now let me get my little highlighter out here. So the reason you assign totems, because it takes one, it goes one further. Have you ever heard of a totem pole by our friends, the Native Americans, who stack different animals, different elements? That's where this all comes from, okay? So we have 3 here. And this is, I'm putting an ebook together, so if you are really interested in this, it'll be in the shop probably within 2 or 3 days. So number 3 is an air, and I'm going to do this right here. So number 3 is an air element, okay? The number 4 is an earth element. And I hope you can read my writing, because it's hard for me to write anymore. We don't need to write anymore, do we? What is an air element? Well, it's all about the bird. And no, I'm not talking about the Canton salute. I'm talking about the birds of the air. What does that mean? It means words. It means speed. And it means wit. Now, what about the earth? The totem, get this, is a stone serpent. Yeah, we can say a snake. Yeah, we can do that. What is that? It is all about control, all about structure. So his dual totems, okay? The dual totems, the bird and the stone serpent, clash. It's air versus earth. What's the result? A life that oscillates between speaking too freely and needing to clamp down. So it's either one or another. You speak too much, too loud, too often, or you hold back too many important things. Wow, does this resonate a little bit? Yeah, I think so. Let's talk about some other things. The number 4, once again, that's what we're talking about. That we're going to be talking about now a fractured, the shadow aspect, because it's air versus earth, and it is a clash, okay? It's a clash. It is all about a fractured codex. So when we're out of alignment, the earth, The shadow manifestation is all about being rigid, controlling, rule bending to protect ego or institution, and feels entitled to decide what is right. That all resonates with this number 4. That's not something that I've made up. It's authoritarian. That's what it is. It's an overreach of authority. It means cover-ups. And it means hidden agendas. Yeah, not pretty. Not pretty. Now let's talk about this number 3 for a second. Number 3 is the air. Are you ready for this? The shadow manifestation of this number 3 in air is all about gossip, mockery. That's right, and I did this yesterday before a lot of this stuff came out. Reckless speech, performative behavior, misuse of words, and also of weapons. The real echo of this is all about inappropriate text, leaks, sarcasm under stress. That's right. You can't make this up. I'm not making it up. That's all within the numbers and all within the meanings. So when you have the 4 plus 3, as we did earlier, it means conflict. A stone mask over a windstorm. Externally disciplined, but internally chaotic. Because the reality of this, you know what all this means to me? It all means that he's never going to take responsibility. He may say so. He may say, oh, I'm sorry, but he's only sorry that he got caught. And that is my opinion. But it's based on the numbers. What does that mean? Public image of control while private communication betrays an inner turmoil. He will never own up. He thinks to this sort of thing is normal. Now I want to talk about the number 3. The architect at his best builds truth and stability. This is the light aspect. This is where it comes together as light. It's duty, it's precision. It's all about loyalty. The 3 is all about the messenger. The 4 is all about the architect. But the 3 knows how to speak, knows how to persuade and to inspire. It draws people in with wit and personality. And together, in balance, as a person, capable of being brilliant and a communicator within a system of a detective or law enforcement or a teacher or public voice of order. But instead, it sinks down into the shadow aspect of the fractured code. So here is the destiny sequence of Michael David Proctor. His destiny vibrates at number 1. Now, how did we come up with that? Because you're adding the year that he was born. The leader, the pioneer, or in the shadow, the dictator. The lesson here is to use authority to uplift and not to dominate. So in the Codex terms, my darlings, the architect, which is this number, built a fortress for the ego, which is this number, while the messenger, which is this number, mocked, from the walls. He built the walls and then he walked through them. So now we're going to go into some karmic mirror numbering. And this is pretty interesting. If we build the Zeldan mirror, reverse and sum, so what we do is reverse it. 4 plus 3 plus 1 is 8. Okay? Let me move this a little bit over here so you can see. Okay, there we go. The 8 is all about judgment and karma. Sorry, I can't get my wrist up there, but you know. All right. It represents what we've built now and being weighed. Or not what we've built, was he's built. When the light comes through, success through integrity wins. Now this is a shadow. And what happens through the shadow? It collapses through exposure. His current cycle of 2025, let me write this up here. He's in a 2025 cycle like the rest of us. His current Codex cycle of 2025 under the Codex of 8. Let me get this. Under the Codex of 8, and this is his current cycle, shows the reckoning, a reckoning. It's a phase of accountability, legal tribunals, and consequences. Can I say woofy? Because this is like, oh yikes. So now, what are the totems? Let me move this over here so you can see. His totems under the codex, under my codex system, he has a number 3 that is a messenger. The number 3 is a crow, a quill, and a mirror. What does this mean? It carries words of shadow, and reflection is truth. The number 4 is an architect. And, oh, I'm sorry, I was wording that. Okay, that's an architect. It is a serpent. It's a key. Remember how we kept talking about there's a key? There's a key. There's a key to missing information. There's a key. Could this possibly be the key? And it's a fortress. The key to unlock the fortress. It is control, and it's built on fear. Now, here's the number 8, which is justice. It scales, hourglass, torch. It's craziness. Pardon me. It is all about, so we've got scales here, hourglass, and a torch. Sorry about my writing, my darlings. Karma. Is slow but sure. All that was hidden comes out to light. Now, how do we break this down? Because when there's a dark codex reading like this, when you're born under December stone of Capricorn's discipline, Michael David Proctor's numbers form a codex of control. His life pattern of an architect craves structure and obedience, but his soul number of a number 3, the messenger, craves freedom and speech. And together, they form a war within himself. When the architect tries to silence the messenger, the voice finds his own way out. How? through gossip, mockery, and betrayal of duty. So there's a warning that goes within this, my darlings. And the warning is, when a fortress is built on ego, and that's what this is here. When a fortress is built on ego, its stones remember every word spoken within its walls. There's a memory. Craziness. So what are we getting out of this numerology? Just based, not even on his name. And I can do his name and we can go deeper. Maybe that'll be another time. But what are we getting out of this? Cover up, hidden agenda, a conflict within himself, never admitting what he did wrong, blaming others, especially karma, definitely an ego, and definitely this combination of air and earth, of control, a struggle. It's just the beginning. It's just the beginning. So let's take a minute, my darlings. Give me a second. I'm going to clear the decks. And let's lay out a few cards on one Michael Proctor. Here we are once again with the cards on the table. And forgive these little, I know somebody mentioned it, Zelda, don't you clean your cloth? I do. But I've been using the House of Zelda cards quite a lot. Sometimes they'll leave little specks, and I'm not going to remove those because I think that it adds to some of the energy on here, okay? We're going to leave the kitties because, well, it's a blessing. But we're talking about Michael Proctor, and I'm going to lay out, just going to take a couple of times here on a couple of times. That's what we call shuffling. A time is this, a time is that. Okay, we're taking a few times here. We want to know. Give us some in-depth insight. Michael Proctor, a wolf in sheep's clothing. Wow. That's that good guy, right? That's what he wants to come across as, a good guy. But he's this guy. Wisdom is needed when dealing with him, and that's the absolute truth. A new pathway ahead, for sure. On the bottom of the deck, time to look closer. There's more. There is definitely more, without a doubt. I have this Maleficent Oracle deck. We're going to see now what comes up within the Oracle. A dog. Oh my, a dog on the wolf. We'll talk about that in a minute. A moon and rats. Oh my. And a child. I know what you're thinking. I'm thinking the same. We're going to put this to the side just for a minute. We'll come back to this. Chloe, I wonder, I'm going to say there's probably some communication somewhere that somebody has something on Chloe. Michael Proctor knows about Chloe. Now the moon. The reason this comes out is because in the tarot and in the oracle, the moon card is a Pisces. Who is a Pisces? It is Karen Reed. So there's more information coming out around Karen Reed. And you see, we've got this little messenger, remember, in the Codex, in the Zeldan Codex, about the bird, the messenger, the rats. Well, we know who that is. Is that the Bad Actors Guild? I think it is. Birds of a feather flock together. So do rats and mice. So there's a lot on there. Everything, and some of it I don't even want to talk about on here. I can't help but wonder if something about Sandra Birchmore is on here. Maybe, if nothing else, just one word, a context. Because you know all these bad actors intertwine. I want to leave that to the universe, because I think there's so much with this Proctor dude. He's the order, the builder, the architect, with no responsibility, no change, no truth, and no balance. I think he has taken some money, in my opinion. Now, look, I'm not a lawyer, not a doctor, not an Indian chief. I'm a numerologist. I'm a teacher. I'm a tarot seeker, profiler. There's going to be a loss. I can't predict that, okay? Let's just say a separation. Am I allowed to say something bad is going to happen? I think I can. I don't have a time frame, but I'm going to say within the next 30 days. From today is the 21st. I think the next 30 days seems to be, I hope I'm wrong. Let's just say Zelda is wrong. Can we do that? Zelda is wrong. It would have to do with himself or somebody that is surrounding him. Definitely a sacrifice. This happens to be Brian Albert's card. And there's gambling with a particular situation. There's a misunderstanding. There's going to be a lot going on here. Let's keep our eyes and ears open. Again, the 24th is significant. Again, getting into November is significant. Let's just say the next 30 days, let's keep our eyes open. Thanks for watching. Thanks for participating in this. And I'm going to add the Codex system numerology readings on the website. If you're interested in that, you can see what the pattern of your soul is. But there's so many hidden things flanked by these two, and this is all about learning more. These two here together is all about isolating the hidden things. So there's going to be somebody along the way that's going to try to hide some of this information, but it's not going to work because they're going to have enough come out that, oh, and look, we're going to end there. Being in bed with the devil. That's it for today, my darlings. Thank you so much for being here and for watching. Don't forget, Thursday night, 7 p.m., Help, I'm Haunted will be live. Thank you so much for being here. Much love to you. And I'll see you again soon. Watch Proctor's door.